the smoking embers of my heart. You kneel beside me in the dust and whisper that this isn't the end.
You see something I cannot see. You're creating a masterpiece. From ashes to beauty, you're making me new. Taking broken pieces, creating something true. Where sorrow was planted, now joy is breaking through. From ashes to beauty, I'm coming alive in you. You're the artist of redemption, painting color on the gray. Every tear becomes intention in the canvas of your grace. Whoa. What the fire tried to destroy, you're refining into gold. From ashes to beauty, you're making me new. Taking broken pieces, creating something true. Where sorrow was planted, now joy is breaking through. From ashes to beauty, I'm coming alive in you. I'm coming alive in you. Crown of beauty for my mourning,
Oil of gladness for my tears.
garment of praise replacing heaviness.
You're restoring all my years.
Crown of beauty for my mourning, all of gladness for my tears. I'm a God and you are watering. Watch me flourish without fear. Oh, oh no. Of the fire, I'm emerging like the dawn after the night. You've been working, now I'm stepping into light. From ashes to beauty, you're making me new. Taking broken pieces, creating something true. Oh, where sorrow was planted, now joy is breaking through. From ashes to beauty, I'm coming alive in you. Your love has made a way. Your mistake is breathing. I'm dancing in your grace. The fire couldn't stop it. The night couldn't hold me down. From ashes to beauty, your glory is all around.
From ashes to beauty,
You're making me new.
from ashes to beauty. I see the first sign of breakthrough, pushing through the hardened ground. Small but unmistakable, life is coming back around. What you planted in the darkness is reaching for the sun. Green shoots rising through the cracks of yesterday. Green shoots rising, proof that you are making a way. Every tiny tender stem is a promise kept again. Green shoots rising, new life has begun. I won't despise the small beginning. This is how the harvest starts, one blade at a time appearing, turning winter into art. What seemed impossible this morning is breaking into view. Green shoots rising through the cracks of yesterday. Green shoots rising, proof that you are making a way. Every tiny tender stem is a promise kept again. Green shoots rising, new life has begun. From little things, big things grow. From the seed comes the overflow. What starts small becomes a forest. This is just the beginning. From mustard seed to mighty tree, from what's unseen to what will be. The best is yet before us. This is just the beginning. I'm watching, I'm watering, I'm tending what you're awakening. I'm grateful, I'm celebrating every sign of life. The ground is softening, the soil is opening. Your kingdom's coming, one shoot at a time. Green shoots rising through the cracks of yesterday. Green shoots rising, proof that you are making a way. Every tiny tender stem is a promise kept again. Green shoots rising, new life has begun. And they won't be stopped. Green shoots rising, this is just the first crop. What starts as a whisper becomes a shout of praise. Green shoots rising, rising all our days. I see them rising everywhere I look. Green shoots rising, the promise you spoke. Green shoots rising.
I've been staring at these walls too long.
Forgotten there's a world beyond.
But you're awakening my eyes to see the vastness of your plans for me. You're lifting up my weary head, showing me what lies ahead. Horizon
breaking down today. What I thought was the finish line was just the starting place. You're opening my eyes to see there's so much more in front of me. Horizons reborn, a new day is dawning. The view from here is endless. With you there are no limits. Horizons reborn, my vision's expanding. What seemed like the ending becomes a new beginning. I'm seeing clearly now. Lift my eyes to the mountains you've prepared. Lift my eyes to the future that awaits. No more settling for shadows when the sunrise is at hand. No more living in the valley when you're calling me to higher ground. The view from here is breathtaking. Everything has changed. You've resurrected my imagination, and I'm dreaming wide awake. Horizons reborn, a new day is dawning. The view from here is endless. With you there are no limits. Horizons reborn, my vision's expanding. What seemed like the ending becomes a new beginning. I'm seeing clearly now. Horizons reborn, my perspective is shifting. The landscape before me is everything you promised. Horizons reborn, I'm walking in wonder. The best is before me, not buried behind me. I'm looking ahead now. Lift my eyes to you. Horizons reborn, I'm seeing clearly now. I'm seeing clearly now. In the heat of all my striving, when the world runs me dry, there's a well that keeps on rising, a spring of life inside. You're the water that I'm drinking from a source that never ends. Oasis in my soul, you refresh me, make me whole. When everything around me fades, you're the green inside the gray. Oasis in my soul, peace that nobody can take. You're the refuge I have found, holy ground within me now. Oasis in my soul. Though the desert storm is raging and the sun beats on my skin, I have paradise waiting in the secret place within. found holy ground within me now. Oasis in my soul. You're the calm in the chaos. You're the rest in the restless. You're the peace in the pressure. Oasis, oasis. You're the stillness in the struggle. You're the hope in the hopeless. You're the life in the lifeless. Oasis, oasis. Rivers flowing, springs are rising. Deep is calling unto deep. In the center of my being, you're the sanctuary I need. I will drink and never thirst. I will rest and never worry. You're the fountain, you're the fullness. Oasis in my soul. Oasis in my soul. You refresh me, make me whole. Wherever in around me fades. You're the green inside the gray. Oasis in my soul. Peace that nobody can take. You're the refuge I have found. Holy ground within me now. Oasis in my soul. You're the dwelling place I've chosen. Where my spirit comes alive. Where your presence satisfies. Oasis, oasis. Nothing external can control the paradise you've placed in me. I carry heaven's peace. Oasis in my soul. Rivers flowing deep within. Oasis in my soul. You're my refuge.
I'm standing in the in-between, what you said and what I see, holding on to words you've spoken, when the ground beneath feels broken. But your word will not return empty. What you've promised you will do. There's a promise in the wasteland, calling out my name. Though I walk through shadowlands, your word will still remain. You're riding on the horizon, what my eyes can't see today. There's a promise in the wasteland, and I'm holding on to faith. Yeah. Every prophet's declaration, every midnight revelation, planted deep within my spirit. Help me trust when I don't feel it. What you started, you will finish. You're the author of my days. There's a promise in the wasteland, calling out my name. Though I walk through shadowlands, your word will still remain. You're riding on the horizon, promise is a yes and amen. Heaven and earth will pass away, but your word will stand forever. I believe what you have said. There's a promise in the wasteland, calling out my name. And though I walk through shadowlands, your word will still remain. You're writing on the horizon what my eyes can't see today. There's a promise in the wasteland, and I'm holding on to faith. There's a promise in the wasteland, stronger than my doubt. What you've spoken over me will surely come about. I'm not waiting in the silence, I'm expecting breakthrough now. There's a promise in the wasteland, and I will not back down. I will stand on what you've spoken. There's a promise in the wasteland, I believe. You take the broken pieces and make them beautiful again.
You turn the page on seasons where I thought my story had to end.
You're rebuilding, reconstructing every wall that fell apart.
This is our restoration anthem, singing of the God who makes things new. This is our restoration anthem, declaring what you've always promised to do. You restore, you renew, you rebuild what we've been through. This is our restoration anthem,
And we're singing it to you. You see potential in the ruins, you find purpose in the pain.
You're the master of redemption, turning loss into eternal gain.
You're restoring, resurrecting everything the enemy has stolen.
This is our restoration anthem, singing of the God who makes things new. This is our restoration anthem, declaring what you've
these lonely canyons where the sun beats down on stone, but I can hear a current rising from a source I've never known. There's a rumble in the distance, feel the ground begin to shake. You send rivers in dry valleys where nothing's meant to grow. Your mercy rushes through me like a flood I can't control. You're bringing life to places where death has had its way. Rivers in dry valleys flowing in your name. Every canyon carved by sorrow now becomes a sacred stream. You're filling up the hollow with more than I could dream. There's a roaring in the heavens, feel your presence breaking through. You send rivers in dry valleys where nothing's meant to grow. Your mercy rushes through me like a flood I can't control. You're bringing life to places where death has had its way. Rivers in dry valleys flowing in your name. Let it flow from the throne to my soul. Let it rise till the desert comes alive. Let it flow, your river never runs low. Let it rise, watch the wasteland come to life. You're the God who makes a way through impossible terrain. You're the water in the wasteland. You're the flood after the flame. You send rivers in dry valleys where nothing's meant to grow. Your mercy rushes through me like a flood I can't control. You're bringing life to places where death has had its way. Rivers in dry valleys flowing in your name. You send rivers in dry valleys carved by your own hand. Every trial was a channel for the waters you have planned. Now I'm swimming in your goodness, dancing in the rain. Rivers in dry valleys, forever I'll proclaim. Let it flow, rivers in dry valleys. Let it flow.
You planted something deep within, where no one else can see. Buried in the waiting time, a future taking root in me. What looks like stillness on the surface is a miracle in motion. pressure and the darkness here are not my enemies. They're the process and the preparation for what I'm meant to be. What's happening in secret will be shouted from the rooftops soon. Seeds beneath the sand, growing in the hidden place. What you put inside my heart will not be contained. Though the harvest seems delayed, I know it's on its way. Seeds beneath the sand. There's life beneath the surface. There's purpose in the process. What you started will emerge in its perfect time. There's life beneath the surface. There's power in the patience. I can feel it. I can feel it. Something's coming alive. Every seed is swelling. Every root is reaching. Every promise is preparing to break into the light. Watch me rise. Watch me grow. Watch the fruit of faith unfold. What was hidden now will show the glory of your perfect timing. Seeds beneath the sand, growing in the hidden place. What you've put inside my heart will not be contained. Though the harvest seems delayed, I know it's on its way. Seeds beneath the sand. Oh, seeds beneath the sand, pushing through the barren ground. What was buried in the dark is finally coming out. The season's changing now. I can see the breakthrough clouds. Seeds beneath the sand are bearing fruit right now. Seeds beneath the sand.
I'm standing at the edge of yesterday, where the shadows meet the dawn. All the fear I've carried falls away as you lead me further on. I can feel the earth is shifting now. You're making room for faith somehow. Something new begins right here in the ruins. You're writing my story again. Every chapter you've been moving. What you started, you will finish. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping in. Something new begins. right here in the ruins. You're writing my story again. Every chapter you've been moving, what you started, you will finish. I'm stepping out, I'm stepping in. Something new begins, fresh mercies every morning. Your faithfulness never ends. I hear heaven's voices calling. The future's bright before us. The past won't hold me in. Something new begins. Oh, something new begins.
Returns to soft piano, whispered vocal.
Behold, you're doing a new thing. Something new begins.
In the stillness of the waiting, where my questions fill the air, I'm learning how to listen for the voice that's always there. In the space between my heartbeat, in the pause before I pray, you're speaking through the silence, louder than the noise. Every moment holding meaning. I can hear your voice in the quiet. You are closer than you've ever been. You're speaking through the silence, and I'm listening again. Be still and know you're God, speaking through the silence.
The winter held me longer than I thought I could survive.
But underneath the frozen ground, you kept my hope alive.
I can feel the shifting, the ice is finally breaking. This is my testimony of spring. After the longest winter I've seen, colors returning where gray had been. Life is awakening. This is my testimony of spring. Every promise you spoke is happening. What seemed impossible is opening.
I'm finally flourishing. The cold could not defeat me. The dark could not prevail. You were working in the waiting. Your purposes won't fail.
I can see the evidence. Your faithfulness is blooming. This is my testimony of spring. After the longest winter I've seen, colors returning where gray had been. Life is awakening. This is my testimony of spring. Every promise you spoke is happening. What seemed impossible is opening. I'm finally flourishing. Winter is past, the rain is gone, flowers appear. I hear the song of turtle doves and nature's praise. Spring has come, spring has come. The barren branch is budding now, the dormant seed is breaking out. What died in winter lives again. Spring has come, spring has come. Everything you promised me is rising like the morning. This is my testimony. Spring has come. I'm not the same.
I'm not the same.
The winter changed me, but I remain.
Stronger roots and deeper faith.
Spring has come, spring has come. This is my testimony of spring. After the longest winter I've seen, colors returning where gray had been. Life is awakening. This is my testimony of spring. Every promise you spoke is happening. What seemed impossible is opening. I'm finally flourishing. This is my testimony of spring. The season I thought would never end has given way to newness again. You're faithful without failing. This is my testimony of spring. I'm bearing fruit and blossoming. The winter wasn't wasted. It brought me to this place of testimony of spring. Spring has come
at last.
the winter's past, testimony of spring. I've been searching in 1,000 places, chasing after empty words. Every promise left me wanting, nothing satisfied, nothing held. But then I tasted living water, and everything has changed. I'm thirsty no more. You fill the emptiness inside. I'm thirsty no more. Found the fountain, won't run dry. Every longing finds its answer. Every need is met in you. I'm thirsty no more. My soul is satisfied in you.
waiting to be found.
You're leading me beyond the borders of my understanding,
Into uncharted mercy, deeper than I've ever been. Your compassion has no ending, no horizon, no limit. I'm exploring territory
my heart has never seen.
uncharted mercy
Is carrying me. I've drawn my lines and boundaries of how far grace can reach, but you keep moving the perimeter of what I thought I believed.
You're calling me to venture out into the vastness of your heart, into uncharted mercy, deeper than I've ever been. Your compassion has no ending, no horizon, no limit. I'm exploring territory my heart has never seen. Uncharted mercy. There's always more of your kindness to explore. There's always more. I'm just scratching the surface.
Further up and further in to mysteries that never end.
Further up and further in to the ocean of your love.
I could search for all eternity and never reach the boundary of your mercy toward me. It's unmapped, unlimited. Every step into the unknown reveals your goodness I've never known. You're the God of more and more.
Uncharted mercy, deeper than I've ever been. Your compassion has no ending, no horizon, no limit. I'm exploring territory my heart has never seen. Uncharted mercy, into uncharted mercy, where my failures find their end. Your forgiveness keeps on giving new beginnings. Once again, I'm discovering dimensions of your love I can't comprehend. Uncharted mercy will never end. There's always more to explore.
Uncharted mercy
Carrying me. I don't know what's around the corner, but I know the one who does. Every question finds its answer in the mystery of your love. You're pulling back the curtain, showing me your heart. Unveil tomorrow, brighter than today. You're writing my story in the most beautiful way. What I couldn't imagine, you're bringing to pass. Unveil tomorrow, my future's in your the goodness you have stored. I'm standing on the edge of more, the edge of more. No fear of the unknown, 'cause you're already there. Every step is ordered, covered by your care. Unveil tomorrow, brighter than today. You're writing my story in the most beautiful way. What I couldn't imagine, you're bringing to pass. Unveil tomorrow, my future's in your hands. Unveil tomorrow, heaven's breaking through. The best is yet before me, all because of you. I'm running toward the sunrise, no longer looking back. Unveil tomorrow, and I'm never turning back. Eyes not seen, all you have for me. Unveil tomorrow.
I've stood before these walls of stone, pressed against what won't give way. But I can hear a roaring sound building up beneath the clay. There's pressure mounting deep below. Something's about to overflow. Waters break through, nothing can contain the flood of your blessing, the power of your name. Waters break through, every barrier falls when heaven meets earth and your spirit breaks the walls. Rivers in the desert, Isaiah's promise stands. Waters break through, the drought is finally over. Abundance is the sound of waters breaking through right now.
Waters break through. Oh, oh. Oh, oh.
Waters break through. I'm standing in the overflow.
I was a valley of dry bones, scattered pieces, hope unknown. But you saw life beneath the stone and spoke to what was all alone. Your voice echoes through the empty, calling forth what couldn't be. What was dead now breathes. Lungs are filled with destiny. What was lost in the grave is dancing in your grace. What was dead now breathes, rising from the dust I've been. You breathe and I come alive. Resurrection in my life. Oh, what was dead now breathes. You commanded bone to bone, sun new flesh upon the throne of everything I thought was gone. Now I'm standing, now I'm strong. Your spirit moving like a rushing wind, awakening my heart again. What was dead now breathes. Lungs are filled with destiny. What was lost in the grave is dancing in your grace. What was dead now breathes, rising from the dust I've been. You breathe and I come alive. Resurrection in my life. Oh, what was dead now breathe on me, breathe on me. Spirit come like a wind and fire. Breathe on me, breathe on me. Lift me higher, lift me higher. From death to life, from night to morning, from silent to singing, from broken to soaring. I feel the wind beneath my feet. I feel your power awakening. Every cell is shouting your name. I'm forever changed. What was finished is beginning. What was ending is just starting. You're the God who resurrects, the God who brings me back. I've been staring at a cloudless sky, praying for a sign of life, standing in the dry and weary night, wondering if you hear my cry. But you're the God of the impossible. You're the one who makes a way when dusk becomes rain. You turn my morning into praise. What seemed dead comes back to life. You're the miracle I can't explain. When dusk becomes rain, you're faithful through the longest way. Every promise finds its time. Heaven falls and earth will never be the same. When dusk becomes rain, I've been holding on to fragments here of what you've spoken to my soul. Now I feel the atmosphere is shifting. You're about to take control. 'Cause you're the God of resurrection. You breathe life into my faith. When dusk becomes rain, you turn my morning into praise. What seemed dead comes back to life. You're the miracle I can't explain. When dusk becomes rain, you're faithful through the longest way. Every promise finds its time. Heaven falls and earth will never be the same. When dusk becomes rain, I feel it falling, falling now. The weight of glory coming down. I feel it falling, falling free. Your spirit pouring over me. I feel it falling, falling now. The drought is breaking. Hear the sound. I feel it falling. Can you see the impossible becoming reality? Oh, let it fall, let it fall on me. Let it fall. This is my testimony. When dusk becomes rain, you turn my morning into parade. What seemed dead comes back to life. You're the miracle I can't explain. When dusk becomes rain, you're faithful through the longest way. Every promise finds its time. Heaven falls and earth will never be the same. When dusk becomes rain, the impossible bows to your name. What you've spoken will come to pass. I'm standing in your downpour at last. My desert is drinking deeper, yeah. When dusk becomes rain, oh, when dusk becomes rain, I feel it falling, falling now. When dusk becomes rain.
This ground was hard and unforgiving. No sign of color, no sign of life. But you saw potential in the nothing. You spoke and turned the barren into paradise. Your hand is moving over what was dead, breathing resurrection into this place where nothing grew before. You're bringing forth the garden where hope had disappeared. You're planting something new. Every inch of wasted ground becomes a miracle unfolding now. You're creating beauty, opening doors where nothing grew before. I see the evidence of breakthrough. Green shoots rising through the storm. What seemed impossible is happening. You're turning deserts into fertile ground. Your promises are taking root in me, sprouting into more than I could dream. When nothing grew before, you're bringing forth the garden where hope had disappeared. You're planting something new. Every inch of wasted ground becomes a miracle unfolding now. You're creating beauty, opening doors where nothing grew before. Seed by seed, row by row, you're faithful to complete what you've sown. What you started will overflow. This is the season. This is the season. Seed by seed, row by row, I'm watching your kingdom come and grow. Harvest is coming. I can feel it rising. This is my promised land. No more settling for empty. No more calling barren blessed. You're the God of resurrection, bringing life from nothingness where nothing grew before. You're bringing forth the garden where hope had disappeared. You're planting something new. Every inch of wasted ground becomes a miracle unfolding now. You're creating beauty, opening doors where nothing grew before. Abundance is arising, the wilderness is blooming because you made it so. I'm standing in the promise that you always finish what you start. You're exceeding expectation where nothing grew before. Where nothing grew before. You brought a garden where nothing grew before. In the quiet of the barren land, where the dust meets my trembling hands, I strain to hear a whisper call through the silence. through it all. And in the distance something stirs, a promise wrapped in sacred words. You're the wilderness voice breaking through the empty noise. When I'm lost, you're calling out my name. In the desert I hear you speak, waters rising from beneath. Nothing's wasted, nothing stays the same. You're the wilderness voice. Every shadow holds a hidden spring. Every dry bone starts to sing. You're painting color on the sand. Resurrection in your hands. And what was dead is breathing now. You're making good on every vow. You're the wilderness voice breaking through the empty noise. When I'm lost, you're calling out my name. In the desert I hear you speak, waters rising from beneath. Nothing's wasted, nothing stays the same. You're the wilderness voice. So I listen in the waiting. I believe what you're creating. Even here, even now, you're still speaking, still speaking. I'll trust you in the silence. I'll stand on your reliance. Even here, even now, you're still moving, still moving. You're the wilderness voice breaking through the empty noise. When I'm lost, you're calling out my name. In the desert I hear you speak, waters rising from beneath. Nothing's wasted, nothing stays the same. You're the wilderness voice. You're my anchor and my choice. Every dry season turns to rain. You make rivers in the wasteland. You rebuild what's broken down again. Everything is born again. You're the wilderness voice. In the quiet I hear you still. Wilderness voice.
When the mountains won't move and the walls won't fall, when I can't see the path ahead, you hear my call. Even when I can't trace your hand, I can trust your heart. You're making a way where there is no way, parting the seas, moving impossibilities. You're making a way, breaking through the night, turning my darkness into light. You're faithful, you're able, you're making a way. Not by my strength or power, but by your spirit's lead. You're opening doors before me. You're meeting every need. Even when I don't understand, you've already gone ahead. You're making a way where there is no way. Parting the seas, moving impossibilities. You're making a way, breaking through the night, turning my darkness into light. You're faithful, you're able. You're making a way. Red Sea walker, giant slayer, prison shaker, chain breaker. What you did then, you'll do again. You're the same yesterday, today, forever. Red Sea walker, giant slayer, prison shaker, chain breaker. I've seen you move, I've seen you prove. There's nothing that you cannot do. No weapon formed against me will prosper in your name. I'm standing on your promises. You're making a way. You're making a way where there is no way. Parting the seas, moving impossibilities. You're making a way.